Good morning, everyone, and so glad to have you on the call today. Here we are, middle of December, and just around the corner is 2025 with all of its bright possibilities. I just think of all of the things that you could put together that would make this the right place at the right time. And I think being in Avini right now redefines being at the right place at the right time. It's pretty easy to connect the dots. And first off, I just got to talk about how exciting it is, just months away. This is going to happen before we know it. Here it will be March, and we'll all be together in Las Vegas. And oh goodness, I've been going to events every year for 30 plus years. They're amazing. I love what Eric Worre talks about, the steps to be successful in this business. And he says that fundamentally, all the steps, the highest paid activity is getting people to events. It's all about that. If you just think daily activity, it's talking to people, but this is where you get the vision. And I like this thought that not everybody that goes to an event makes 10,000 a month, but all the people that earn 10,000 a month go to big events. So big events create big vision, and just going there, I think so much, one of my favorite ideas is that leadership, that influence, it's just the enthusiastic communication of your vision. And when you go, you'll get all excited and you'll come home with shining eyes, and that will pass on to your people. And that's what it's all about, is communicating what we have. And we can change the world one person at a time. The other thought is this magic of compounding. So you go and you definitely want to, but think in your mind right now, what if you got a bunch of people to go with you? What if you had enough time, which you do, where those people in turn could do that? And so just imagine yourself sitting there and you look around and quite a few of the people there, and you look at them and they're all excited. They're glad they came, and they're your people. Imagine that. What would happen on that next year if you are starting out with a bunch of people already there? So now is the time. Also, just a couple of weeks away, January, that tradition, that thought, I need to resolve to up my game. What would be the ideal me? How can I do that? Oh, this is the time right now to get started on that as well. It's just thinking, what can I do to be better? And so here's just a thought right here. If you think of New Year's resolutions, it's all about, well, being healthy and wealthy. Everybody would like to look better, be more healthy, earn more money. And here we have this wonderful opportunity. Avini, I've heard it described as it's the easiest low pay work, and it's the highest hard work. So easy, low pay, hard, high pay. And but if it's easy, if it's fun to do, you can do lots of it. And so I don't think, oh, this is hard work. It's fun work. It's a joy to do Avini. And so let's think about playing big in this. And one of the things also, going back to big events, they're designed to give people an aha moment. And I like this idea. There's so many successful people. When you hear their story, what made them very successful? Often it was a single moment that they could look back and define as that moment they made a decision where something happened. Someone said something, there was an experience that resolved them that I need to raise my game or take their life in a whole different direction. Well, I believe when you go to those events, that's a place that's designed to have those aha moments. And so this is a fun thought right here too. People who believe they have power to exercise some measure of control over their lives are healthier, more effective, more successful than those that don't feel they have ability to change the effects of their life. And I think a lot about that idea, autonomy, freedom, whatever you want to call that. I believe that the degree that you feel you have the freedom to direct your own life is pretty much proportional to the degree of your overall mental health and happiness. Here's another thing. I love wholehearted. That's a wonderful word. Half-hearted, that's not a good word. Mediocrity, you don't want to use those words anyway to define yourself. I think one of the big things is play big. I think that's one of the great joys, is just working hard at something that you feel matters. How can it be better than that? Well, being united with people that you love, and they're also working with you to do that. And so here we are in this great cause together. I'm loving it. What a wonderful way to live your life. Well, Bob Conklin, he is a super successful guy. He started a company called Conklin many years ago, and he's a mover and a shaker. And this is something that he said, I think is quite poetic. He says, I can make you rise or fall. I can work for you or against you. I can make you a success or a failure. I control the way that you feel and the way that you act. I can make you laugh, work, love. I can make your heart sing with joy, excitement, elation, or I can make you wretched, dejected, morbid. I can make you sick, listless, or I can, as the prism's hue, dancing, bright, fleeting, lost forever, unless captured by pen or purpose. I can be nurtured and grown to be great and beautiful. Seen by the eyes of others through action in you, I can never be removed, only replaced. I am thought. Oh, I like that. We do become what we think about. Thoughts are things that affect every other thing. And so here's a chance to reflect. Here we are coming into a whole new year. Who am I here to be? What is my purpose? And so here's part of that little poem or thought that Bob Conklin says, why not know me better? Our thoughts. If we become what we think about, well, let's direct our thoughts purposefully, not just drift through life thinking, oh, just whatever comes into my mind affects you. Well, that's true. So control what's going into you. Well, one of the powerful things since we've been working with MJ, but if you just think about success, all of us come to this idea. And one of the big things MJ talks about mental success tracks. Most of the time through the years, we've heard affirmations. And this is just some thoughts on this. Well, one of my favorite ideas is focus. And I love the acronym FOCUS, FOCUS, follow one course until success. But if you want to change your life, you must change what you focus on. Well, that makes sense. That's it. What we focus on, what we think about expands. And just that's so powerful. And here's the thing that's really fun. Affirmations is simply intentionally designed language for the purpose of directing your focus towards something you aspire to change or embody in your life. I remember several years in my early career of network marketing back in the 80s on my daily planner. I'd open that up and write in the thing and big magic marker was 5,000. I saw that, and that was to make 5,000 a month. And yeah, I kept thinking about that, kept getting frustrated about that, but finally hit it. But here's a thought right here. Affirmations, when done correctly, have the power to transform your life. And I know so many people, including myself, were just thinking purposely ideas that program my mind is so powerful. Here's something in Think and Grow Rich. This is what Napoleon Hill said to himself, one of his affirmations. I am resilient and adapt to change. I am a magnet for success. Opportunities flow to me in waves. I turn my dreams into reality. I am creating a life of abundance and success. Well, I think he was very successful in the sense that he helped a lot of other people become successful. Now, there's actually a book, What to Say to Yourself, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, Shad Helmsletter, if I remember. But this is something that Tony Robbins talks about. If you've seen him, that guy is over the top, and you can just imagine him. So he takes this idea of affirmations, that putting body and motion and everything into that. And so he's walking around and using those words in step. And a lot of people do that. I think he's probably the best example of that. And he calls it incantations. You don't just speak it, you embody what you're saying, and you do it with enough repetitions that it sticks. Well, here's one of Tony Robbins. Now I am the voice. Well, I believe that seeing him on the stage, and I know before he gets on the stage, he's walking around pumping it, and I am the voice. I am the voice. I'm just moving all around. That I will lead, not follow. I will believe, not doubt. I will create, not destroy. I am a force for good. I am a leader. defy the odds, set a new standard, step up. I could just hear him dancing around and saying that. When you're walking and you got a rhythm going, try doing incantations. My wife, Valerie, she's always doing that when she's racing, and she's got these little jingles that she talks about, and it really empowers her, energizes her. Back when I was pretty naive about all of this, I got out of the Navy. We loaded all of our stuff, not a lot, into a U-Haul truck and moved into a town I'd never even seen before. When we came in there, that was the first time I saw anything. It was a new territory, straight commission, very scary. And at that time, I thought, I need to do some affirmations to just save myself, because we were having a really hard time at first. And so I was always doing this. And this is one of the biggest breakthroughs. There's two particular scrolls that I just devoured and made them me. And one of them is so wonderful. And I just love this phrase right here, and I'm using it all the time. I will greet this day with love in my heart. Wow. For this is the greatest secret of success in all ventures. Muscle can split a shield and even destroy a life, but only the unseen power of love can open the hearts of man. And until I master this art, I will remain no more than a peddler in the marketplace. I will make love my greatest weapon, and none on whom I call can defend against its force. My reasoning they may counter, my speech they may distrust, my apparel they may disapprove, my face they may reject, and even my bargains may cause them suspicion. Yet my love will melt all hearts, likened to the sun whose rays soften the coldest clay. I will greet this day with love in my heart. And later on in that scroll, it talks about when you greet someone, that you don't actually say, I love you, but you do in your heart and in your mind. It's spoken in silence. But when you look at them, you say, I love you. And you try that. And not just as a gimmick or a sales trick, but you really genuinely love other people. They will feel that. It reflects, as we all have heard, that most of the communication we have, even on the phone, is nonverbal. People can feel your thoughts. And when you do that, it's so powerful. And it makes you a better person, because that's the greatest commandments, is to love one another. Hers, the other one, I just devoured. I will persist until I succeed. Always, I will take another step. If that is of no avail, I will take another and yet another. In truth, one step at a time is not too difficult. I know that small attempts repeated will complete any undertaking. And you know, it goes really, really strong in that scroll. It goes, I will persist until I succeed. I was not born into this world in defeat, nor does failure course in my veins. I am not a sheep waiting to be prodded by the shepherd. I am a lion, and I refuse to walk, talk, or sleep with a sheep. The slaughterhouse of failure is not my destiny. Let them join the sheep. But anyway, I will persist. I will succeed. And that was one of my favorite things. Calvin Coolidge talks about persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Nothing can take the place of persistence. A lot of little thoughts that I've used for years. I love the telephone. I used to not, but I tell myself every day, I love the telephone. The telephone is my friend. I love getting on the phone and talking to people, and talking to people about Avini. Here's the thought also, if I'm looking and thinking, they won't be interested. I always think, well, if I don't ask, then it's always a no. And so if I call them, at least just be practice. And it's the numbers. And I've been around enough, and you have too, if you've done this at all, that some of the people you just know will be interested or not. And some people you almost don't call, they are interested. Or if you get visiting with them and you really truly love them and care, and you got a conversation, it's not just calling, I'm just going through the numbers, I want to get some, but you really have conversation, things really happen. Way back in the light bulbs, I actually had pretty high numbers at first talking to people. Actually, interestingly, when I had less numbers, because I spent more time getting to know people and being interested in them, my sales exploded. And here's the thought on persistence. What if you just made one more call every day? That magic of compounding. One more call. let's just round it off to 300 days that you're calling people. One more call in a year, 300 extra calls. That's pretty amazing. I know there's a lot of people that don't make 300 calls at all, let alone one more call. How about one call? That might be someone's beginning affirmation is one call. There's a book that talks about tiny habits. And the idea is, oh, I need to floss my teeth. Someone said, be true to your teeth and they'll never be false to you. Well, one of the most important things is floss your teeth. Well, he talks about just get in the habit of floss one tooth. You can do it. Just floss one tooth. You don't need to do them all. Just floss one. Get in the habit of doing one tooth. And then praise yourself. Wow, I did it. I flossed one of my teeth. And if you do that, well, then maybe you can really move up to a couple of teeth. And pretty soon, I floss my teeth every day. It isn't, oh, gee, I'm tired or whatever. I just do it. It's automatic. Same thing with making calls, contacting people. Success is a habit. So is failure. Now, one of my very all-time favorite people is this wonderful guy, Paul J. Meyer, amazingly super successful. I've heard a lot of other people that I admire. As an example, John Maxwell, a turning point in his life was when he was a young man and he bought this success course from Paul J. Meyer and devoured it. Well, some time ago, I had the opportunity to listen to an interview with Darren Hardy and Paul Meyer, and they're just sitting there, and he said some stuff. And one of the things that he said was this right here. We all know what a paranoid is. That's where we think everybody's out to get me. Well, this is what Paul Meyer said. I am an inverted paranoid. I just believe that everybody in the world is out to get me and help me do whatever I want to do. Everybody wants to be my partner. Everyone wants to be my customer. When I walk up to a door, I visualize a red carpet rolled out, and they are waiting to do business with me because they not only want to buy from me, they want to be my friend. If you don't get a chance to associate with me, you're going to miss something, baby. Wow, isn't that a wonderful attitude? It was so good that I stopped and started the recording and just wrote this all out. And I'm saying this all the time too. One of the most beautiful ways of saying this is Paul J. Meyer. He says, whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon must inevitably come to pass. That's Paul J. Meyer. Here's another one. Now, this is a practical sense. This is on that same interview. And you think about this. Okay, one of the big differences between successful and unsuccessful people is the way they use their time. Think about this. I must do the most productive thing possible at any given moment. That's one of my little affirmations. So, but listen to Paul J. Meyer, why he's super, super successful. He says, the most valuable thing I can do with my time is to be face-to-face with a Class A prospect, qualifying that further, who I have been sent to by someone I have respect for in time to tell my story under favorable conditions, and they have the money to buy. He's got all the bases covered. The second most important thing I can do with my time is getting on the phone and getting more appointments to do that. And the third most important thing with my time would be to get more names to do that. Wow. Now, here's something that I think is a big affirmation you want to have in your head. I really believe in this so much that you think every person you meet in the course of your day deserves to know what you know. We've got special information, and they might not ever hear it. Avini is very new. You've probably done this. It's a really fun thing. Have you ever heard of zeolite, let alone clinoptilolite, not to mention activated and micronized, just zeolite? I would say 80% of the population, they have not heard. And that's our job. It's a lot of fun. Now, affirmations. Have you got an affirmation? And I thought I would be just a little personal here. And so this is one I do. And so I'll share it with you, and you can steal it. A lot of this, it's hard to be just absolutely brilliant spontaneously. Yeah. And anything you can think about, someone has said it better earlier before. But let me go through this. And these are phrases that we've all heard, but I love these. Even manifesto, I've heard that. And so affirmations, incantations, I like this thought, my desire manifesto, desire. That's everything begins with desire. So here we go. I am a mighty man of valor. I have a magnificent commission to be a positive difference maker and change the world. I am a powerful and positive force for good. My best life is about inspiring others around me to realize their best lives. I love the Lord and I know that He loves me. I want to work for Him. He has gifted me with great possibilities. I am placed in a wonderful position for making much good happen. I am nourishing my mind as I strive to be more thoughtful, purposeful, prayerful, patient. I am a visionary. I am a strategic influencer. I'm a rainmaker. I'm a difference maker. I am an empire builder. I'm one of those movers and shakers in the world. I am grateful for this day. This is the day the Lord hath made. I will be glad and rejoice in it. I feel healthy. I feel happy. I feel terrific. I feel strong, fit, capable, and free. My body is a temple of my soul. My body is my adventure machine. I am what I eat, drink, breathe, think, say, and do. So I'm going to wisely choose what I allow to enter my body. I thoughtfully choose the things that will raise my game and that will nourish my mind, body, and soul. Okay, here's just some thoughts. This is not sounding like affirmations here, but I just think of my mind. There's a book, Discipline Equals Success. Well, discipline, be a disciple. A discipline is success. I make it happen. The world needs good men. Remember, you have a divine invitation. You've got a job to do. Don't dabble. Here's some thoughts for me. Overeating increases inflammation, as does carrying extra fat. But here it is. The true joy in life is being used for a purpose recognized by yourself as a mighty one. So I've got that around the house as I'm sitting in my library, my porcelain library. This is hanging on the door in front. This is good stuff right here. So one of my favorite all-time books, get this book, read it again. Norman Vincent Peale. This is in the early 50s when that was published. Lots of good stuff in there, but this is my favorite single thought in that book. And it is the greatest source of strength. And this is this powerful thought that Norman Vincent Peale shares so well. He says that think in your mind, this is an affirmation. God is with me. God is helping me. God is guiding me. Spend several minutes each day visualizing His presence, then practice believing that affirmation. Go about your business on the assumption that what you have affirmed and visualized is true. Affirm it, visualize it, believe it, and it will actualize itself. The release of power which this procedure stimulates will astonish you. Isn't that amazing? And nothing will make you more alive. This is a fun thought right here in the middle. Everyone has inner voices. Turn them into great encouragers instead of saboteurs. Play powerful and uplifting music in your mind. That's what this stuff is. And you can make jingles. That's what Valerie does. A lot of her affirmations are to sing. And that's one of the big things I think about. You always have music going on in movies. Opera, that invented something that was so powerful. Is drama, amazing words driven deep into your heart and soul with music. There's something so powerful about that. So consider putting some of that into a cadence, at least. What so many people do is do all of that sort of things. Tony Robbins, that's a lot of the incantations, is at least having a rhythm, but you can make that a jingle too. But okay, so if you say it and write it again and again and again, you will think it. Believe it, choose it, act on it, and the result will happen. Now, one of the really important things I want to add to this right here is this idea that it works. It works really, really good unless you just jump in and you have a low self-image. And so work on that as well. Because if you have a really poor self-image and you just all of a sudden this meat before milk, if you just jump in and start saying this, your body, your mind will question, well, am I really worthy of that? So, but you are. Understand. Here's a chance, again, to just do everything. I love Avini because we've got amazing health products physically, but we've got a lot of stuff that can help your heart and your mental and spirit about what we're doing. This is such really invaluable stuff. Here's another book you just got to get, The Compound Effect. Just the key to success is do the right things, identify what successful people do the same thing, and you'll get the same results they are. But I remember years ago, Denny Denton, he was a diamond in another business, and he was up doing a presentation. And we all know this, but he just said it so succinctly, and I just kind of put that on the board. And I just thought, I know that. Everybody needs to know that. We need to think about it. But think about this. Anything you do once, you can do twice. And if you can do it twice, you can make a habit of it. And if you do this, you can make a lot of money with it. Oh, my goodness. And what is that? Kyle Helm said something that just stuck in my mind. To be successful, be a silver factory. Make silvers. I love that. And you look at Avini. Okay, anything you do once, you can do twice. If you do it twice, you can make a habit of it. Well, look, you can do it once, you could be a silver. And that's what? Sponsor person and get a customer. Do those two things and keep doing them. That's what it is. Now, if you want to move up into gold and on into diamond, it's the very same thing. A silver and a diamond is essentially people that get customers and get distributors. And as you move up the ranks, it's more and more teaching other people how to do that. So success is just getting really, really good and making a habit of gathering people. That's our whole business. That's our job. And if we really, truly believe in what we're doing, it's just so fun. And the thrill that comes when somebody gets better because of the product. And here's one of my favorite thoughts. I used to have this on the back of one of my business cards, that the size of the future you actually experience will largely be determined by one factor: the people you choose to connect with. When you connect people who are truly committed to growth into every aspect of your life, your own potential for growth becomes truly unlimited. So here's an invitation to connect with some really good people that know where they're going. And oh my goodness, and we're just getting ready to really get going. We've been on a wonderful shakedown cruise for a couple of years. It's been proven in the marketplace for many years, more than the 2 years that we've been around as Avini. This is going to be really, really big. Choose today to be a big part of that. Come and grow with it. So much of success is simply people that they're at the right place at the right time, but they recognize that they are and they act on it. That's the big thing. Everywhere there's success, there's the word of activity, the right activity. But here's some thoughts here too. It's healthy to have friends. It's one of the greatest indicators for longevity and happiness, is this idea that when you make connections on the outside of the world, you make new connections on the inside. Your brain, this keeps you young and alert. People who stay socially and physically active have longer lifespans, and I will say also longer health spans. Well, nothing happens until you make it happen. That's what it's all about, is make it happen. So anyway, I love you, wish you a happy new year, and let's go do this. And I'm here to help you. Give me a holler, and thanks everybody. Hope this was helpful.